see your face. For he that prays I pray. I know the Lord. Any better do on the God. He will roll and see our way. Then forward still this Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and sway, with a concrete tread we will push ahead and roll and see our way. Look here now, man. Sickness come, he will roll away. He come, sickness he roll to see our way. He roll, sickness roll to see our way. He roll to see our way. Roll on the sickness away. All of the bill they repair. Roll to see our way. 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 Roll then forward still this Jehovah's will. Blow the billows dash and spray. With a concrete tread we will push ahead and go. One more time. Then forward still this Jehovah's will. Blow the billows dash and spray. With a concrete tread we will push ahead and go. One more time. Lord, he roll to see our way. He roll to see our way. Roll to see our way. Problem come, he roll it out. Sickness come, he roll it out. All the come, he big roll it out. All the problem come, he roll. Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, somebody else say, rod and roll, rod and roll. Oh yeah, and do thy work thyself. He say, rod and roll, rod and roll. To heaven when he go hear the Jordan roll. Take it up. He roll to see our way. He roll to see our way. He roll to see our way. All of the problem roll up. All of the sickness roll up. All of the building roll up. Everything problem. Yeah. He rolled. Hallelujah. Glory. Thank you, Jesus. Whatever you face this week, forward still. Whatever mountains come in your way, forward still. Yeah. Whatever, even if you walk out to war, forward still. Disappointment come, forward still. Woo. And if another pastor fall, forward still. After a pastor we have follow. We obey with pastor, but we have followed Jesus. Forward still. Young people, walk holy, make the right decisions, walk right, walk holy, Ramandosia, Rakandarabasiandarabosha, walk holy, forward still, it's Jehovah's will, though the billows dash and sway. With a concrete
Dr. Brown's Arthritis Remedy and Joint Oil Pain relieves muscular and joint aches, arthritis, sciatica, headaches, menstrual cramps, foot pain, and is also a great sleep aid. Manufactured by Jamaican scientist Everton Brown, PhD, from a blend of Jamaican herbs. Shop www.jamsweet.com or call us at 813-679-0106.
Tony Ann Organics gives you back your smile. Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our Tony Ann Organics gives you back your smile. Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our wide array of products from skin, hair, and personal care? Place your frustration on our shoulders, and we will get you smiling again. The power of our products are in our formulation and ingredients. Listen to our customer testimonial. This is what she has to say.
Oh my gosh, look at my face. I've been using these products for a year, exactly 1 year. If you have not tried them, you need to try them. They really work. Look at my skin.
Visit our website or contact us at 917-557-6204 and order yours today.
We go here when Jordan road. Get something on with it. Get something on with it. Get something on with it. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan road. Get something on with it. 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 Grab a rock and wheel 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 it. Come now, wave your hand. Wave your hand. Wave your hand if you love the Lord. Wave your hand. Wave your, yes, wave your hand if you love the Lord. And me say roll, Jordan roll, roll. Praise him like you just don't care. Just praise the God, because you know what he has done for you. Just give him praise. Rock and praise him. Dance and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. My God, David was one of the greatest musicians. And I hear these musicians playing. Give God glory, musician. Tell them, play a little David. Play a little David. Play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Me say roll, Jordan. Me say roll, Jordan roll. My God, Church of God this evening. God is good. Yes, God is good. God, for I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. Come now, me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to walk right in there. 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 A river Jordan a roll. 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 Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Let the deaf man hear. And the dumb man talk. And the blind eye see. And the crippled man walk. Roll river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan. I feel like praising. I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me I feel it when you roll. Me want rock and praise it, boy. Me I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Boy, river Jordan a roll. People make you roll, make you roll. Boy, a blessing make you roll. Yes, a blessing make you roll. Boy, are your blessing make you roll. Yes, are your blessing make you roll. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan roll. Somebody shout and praise to God.
He like.
Yes, comrades! Youth and youth! Undecided voters! PNP coming again! So tell your neighbor, tell your friend! Green man I ride with like mule, and I take the nation for fall! But we have a new name for him! What the name? Him name Eli! Bangarang! Oh, we tired of the labor pay! The drive across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired of the labor pain. Poverty of us we shut and we going insane. Why? Eli. At the new name for the bus driver. Eli. That's how you hear from every corner. Eli. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday. Eli. Hear this. Eli tell we say him a go build up the country, put money in our pocket and end poverty. Promise the farmer them a go drive SUV. No him touch the bus, him a blame PNP, but Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him too lion out of order. Oh, we tired of the labor pay. The drive across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired of the labor pay. Poverty of us we shut and we going insane. Eli. At the new name for the bus driver. Eli. That's how you hear from every corner. Eli. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli make big promise to teach a nurse and police. Promise to give them big salary increase. Promise jobs, more jobs and good economy. But no him crash the bus, him a blame PNP. But Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him too lion out of order. Wanna remember this? Eli from a party new on the scene. Swear say him done with the garrison and the green. I'll never go back to that. Him tell the country now him greener than green with no credibility. Eli at the new name for the bus driver. Eli. That's how you hear from every corner. Eli. Him name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him too lion out of order. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday, 1 o'clock.
A blessed afternoon. Good evening, Jamaica. The producer just cut in on me so quickly. but in everything give thanks. In everything, give God thanks. And one such thing we have to give thanks for is life. It has been brought to my attention. I don't know if anybody else. It has been brought to my attention that there are persons on Facebook who is using my Facebook name or something like, apparently they're out there using some account to say that it's me you're talking to. Just for the facts, I have not reached out to anyone via Facebook. All right? So if anybody talking to you to say that this is Andre Stevens, I am making it aware. I'm making you all aware that it is not me. All right? And then I tell people all manner of things. You hear what I say, students? It is not me. So get it clear. So the scammer them start already. It's the Christmas season. I have not reached out to anyone on Facebook. I have not reached out to anyone on Facebook. So if you see anyone telling you that this is Andre, I'm not a teacher. All right. I only use Facebook to comment on things, do my postings, etc. But I don't do personal message. I couldn't tell last I sent a personal message to somebody on Facebook for years now. All right. Thank you, Maxine. And boy, the bank, as a matter of fact, Miss soon give me producer, play one song till your teacher come back. Play one song till your teacher come back, producer. Hello?
All right. Pawdna draw. Pawdna draw. Andre. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. In the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. In the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the parliament. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot. Set a rat trap in a FLA. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap in the school. The one them where teeth to pit in them money. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the judiciary. The one them where take money out of the table. Set a rat trap in the lawyer them. Set a rat trap.
Oh Lord. Students, it's that time of the year. Oh yes, my students. It's that time of the year that you get the Bangarang fruit cake. And just to let you know, I ate a piece today. You see how my cake nice and moist. You see how my cake nice and moist. Who want the nice, good cake, them? You know what? I go in, I'm it in front of you. So the cake, them ready, the first batch of cake ready for Thanksgiving. No, sir. Diane, my friend Diane will come to that. Diane, call in and talk about the cake nice, no? We supposed to put, you ever see putting this dark, darling? Yes, students, so a cake season. No, man. It nice. I see my pan them clean. The cake nice, bad. So me want enough to support the cake season. Don't it? If you're interested in the cakes, remember to reach out to Auntie Claudette at 426-2281. If you're in the diaspora, anywhere you're in the world, this cake can be shipped to you. We have people in New York, we have people in Florida, and anybody else we want. I believe there's somebody in Canada. All of the outlets will be put on a flyer soon. But if you want to buy the cake, there are the prices. Yeah, man, if you come here, we get a sample. We get a piece. Me not give a large piece. Because we only give a nice, something for nice up the mouth. The students them can't tell me cake nice. Yeah, man. Yes, students. So, if it's me bake, yes, it's me bake. Yeah, so sometimes when you see me, yeah, man. Busy. When I know politics a cake, when I know cake of food, when I know this, me I telling you Jamaica, I'm not gonna love it. So I'm looking forward to the support from all of you. I might do a nuts cake. I'm contemplating if I should do a nuts cake. One of the students reached out and said, teacher, here are some walnuts. So I might infuse one of the fruit cakes with nuts. So I'm just letting you know, all right? But it's cake season. It is what, Jamaica? Cake season. So anybody out there who is interested, reach out, and for sure, reach out. But now, students, it's class time. It's class time. You don't want any fruit in your cake, so you just want dark cake. The thing about my fruit cake is that the fruit is in the cake, but the fruit is not overpowering. That is the Bangarang fruit cake. Tomorrow night, I'm going to try the rum fire fruit cake, all right? That is the Bangarang fruit cake that I'm having, but tomorrow I will advertise the rum fire fruit cake. And I'm looking forward to the support from everybody near and far. There is local prices there, man, and they're the prices for the US people. Yes, students. So where do I start tonight? So many things to discuss. Good night, Dr. Dixon. How are you, my friend? Tonight we're going to have a roller coaster. Oh, and who's in Atlanta? We get somebody who is interested in Atlanta in selling cakes, all right? We get somebody who is interested in Atlanta in selling cakes. So Atlanta Massive, there's somebody who is interested in selling cakes. Yeah. And again, all cake respondents, all cake inquiries goes to Auntie Claudette at 426-2281. All right. Let us move on now. Jamaica. You know, I find the argument very strange. And why I find the argument very strange is that the Prime Minister is saying that where we are now, a lot of the MPs are falling short. But my argument is, how can they fall short when he was the one defending the 200% 300% increase? You remember this? Producer, can you play back the flashback when me telling you? I want to remember the argument here. I want to remember, because me not select, but me have to draw back for the argument. Me I do a dub tonight. Professor, play back where him did send off for me now, please. Alright, not ready yet. Hold on, Jamaica. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute, man. Hold on. Oh, Lord, give me strength. Call a friend and tell him to come over Pawdna draw tonight. We having... Oh, Lord. Just a moment. Having a little technical glitch. But you know, these things do happen from time to time.
I shouldn't even be talking about this because this is internal, simple housekeeping things. But these are the realities that go into ensuring that you have effective representation. And every government is afraid to touch it because if you touch it, people say you don't deserve it. Why we should pay you more and the country not running well? The country not running well.
because of that very reason, you have chosen to have an underpaid political class. How much they deliver is what you choose. So when you go to the bar and you start to talk about how we are going to get our politicians to be more effective by giving them more resources to be effective, for which you can hold them to account. It is not going to happen by chance that they're going to be held account. I have to hold them to account. So when I call up the parliamentarians and say, why are you not at committee meetings? And then they tell me all of this. Boss, we don't have no room to meet. Boss, if I come, I just can't, I don't know where I'm going to stay. It's the reality.
Who remember that talk last year? You remember? Who remember that talk last year? Who remember that talk last year? So that was a talk last year. Producer, play. I want to listen to this now. That was a talk last year, don't it? Listen to that argument, you know.
The results of the 2024 local government election was a wake-up call for the governing JLP, not to mention a recent Don Anderson poll which showed a 9 percentage point gap in favor of the opposition PNP. With months to go before a general election, the JLP is doing its analysis.
We have seen that there is a high level of frustration. High level of frustration, not just with constituents, but with workers and supporters.
And so the party is going back to what can be described as grassroots politics. In addition to empowering party workers and supporters, political representatives will also have to step up their game.
We have started to take action internally. Some of the MPs and caretakers that we have seen are falling short. We have called them in and we have started to have conversations with them about improving their service.
The Prime Minister did not name any specific MP and he did not outline their weaknesses. Neither was there any reference to the job description which was made public in June 2023. Apart from a conversation, it's not clear if further action would be required.
It is not only at the MP level. We also have to pay attention to the councillors as well. Because it is at the councillor level where the real connections have to be made and maintained. So I don't want to go into too much detail and talk about all the things we are doing, but it's important to communicate to you.
In the meantime, with the National Violence Prevention Commission submitting a draft report on violence, the Prime Minister has reiterated plans to positively impact values and attitudes in Jamaica.
We went through a period of time where we almost deliberately threw off all the values and ethics and principles and good character that defined us as Jamaicans. To essentially say, anything goes. Nobody can talk to me. Me can do what I want. We have to put back respect where disrespect now holds sway.
Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.
If I'm listening to these arguments, last year he argued the country not running well because the parliamentarians I get dibby money. The parliamentarians and the councillors getting good money now. And him saying that them falling short? No. His argument in Jamaica, we're using his same argument. Producer, play back when did say no? Play back the first one when I play. Play back the first one that when I play, no?
I shouldn't even be talking about this because this is internal, simple housekeeping things. But these are the realities that go into ensuring that you have effective representation. And every government is afraid to touch it because if you touch it, people say you don't deserve it. Why we should pay you more and the country not running well? The country not running well. But because of that very reason, you have chosen to have
the country not running well because of that very same reason. And the argument, Jamaica, last week him tell you said the Labour right them frustrated at Clarendon, don't it? Then him tell you again, the people in us, him say, the workers, him say the constituents, the whole of them what? And I mean say it, you know. Him say the workers and the constituents. And on top of that, Jamaica, on top of that, he's saying that the MPs not do the work. The councillors not do the work. What he's identifying to you all, you know. Them now said explicit, you know. Their conferences, how much days away? About 14 or 13 days away. And I don't see the jubilance. I don't see the meetings them filling up. I don't see people having that. The street now move to the rhythm of the bell. The street now move to the rhythm of the bell. The street now move to the rhythm of the clocks. The street now move to the 28 account. And the radam. I'm best baby father the street. I move to something new.
That East Portland, God and time.
See the way the street and I'll show them again.
That East Portland, God and time. Right, that's how we're there. Right, that's they're on top of things, mama. And can't stop way. Straight. Right, that's how. God and time. Andrew will love you like cook food. Yeah, remember know that. Yeah.
The woman serious Jamaica. Look there. Angie had ride her bicycle on the campaign trail. Comrade Angie, serious? Hey, no sir.
Calling all fear.
And that are the new rhythm where the people them are moved to. So when I see him attack, you want to hear me in the parliament today? Producer, play what I'm talking at the parliament today, no? Him go on bad in the parliament today, no? Him go on bad in the parliament today.
The JCF can't have any of its members involved in gangs. None of the JCF members can be in any way, shape, or form associated with offering support, giving information.
The only way to solve age infrastructure is not demonstration. The only way to solve it is by ensuring that you have an economy that can generate the revenues to invest. So, Mr. Speaker, it's one thing to come and make a political point about roads. It is another thing to be able to do something about it. Mr. Speaker, we have seen politicians come and pontificate and make promises about roads, pothole-free by 2003. Mr. Speaker, we are here in 2024, and the people who made that promise then are the same people who are coming now to complain. Why did they make Jamaica pothole-free in 2003? Why? You know why, Mr. Speaker? Because they did not create the economy to do it. And what they do now is to go around and play upon people's frustration without looking at exactly what needs to be done. Well, this administration, Mr. Speaker, knows exactly what needs to be done. So I can stand here, Mr. Speaker, and say, because we have focused on the economy, and there are those who confuse this thing, they say, Prime Minister, you mustn't talk about
Jamaica. Potholes free 2003. But tell me which administration a man dead from a pothole. Tell me under which administration in this country a man dead by a pothole. I never Porsche administration. I never PG administration. And ever Golding administration. Me and go back to in the labor right time, is under a Andrew Holness led. And never Eddie Siaga. Never Michael Manley. Under which administration you hear people dead?
Help, we hear the lateral.
Tell me which administration. See, all bad boy Trevor calling, but me can't take him long. Trevor, you have to talk short because me have me guess. Hello, good night, Trevor.
Greetings, Mr. Portland.
Me name Mr. Portland. Mind such man. Tell me something now have citizenship for say nothing. Where you say, Trevor?
Next thing again, you must know, Andre.
Yes.
Did you realize that because of Andrew crime plan, Manchester becomes a variance of crime? You know that? You know, the state of emergency balloon effect reaching a Mandeville and Westmoreland and stuff like that. You know that? In 2023, as him said in the pathway, so much crime over there, Mandeville, big man.
Oh. Where you say, Trevor?
Big man. In 2023, the pathway must have won in 2023. No crime over there, Mandeville.
Oh.
So why is it that Andrew wants to take blame for everything that is good, that's good, and I want it everything what bad I want?
Or him want to take credit for the good, but the bad in the country, him blame it.
No, the economy is going good. The going good because of JLP, but the crime is going bad because of PNP.
Oh, a theme argument that.
Yes, some would have fixed because Andrew was with the patrol of my PNP won them.
Oh, so the patrol crisis appearing. All right, Trevor, me want to show you how bad. Producer, show how man arm Hanover. Me want to show you how Hanover mash up. All right, Trevor, make me show you how Hanover mash up. I hear where I say. And he must say because...
So yo, sometimes when it's that bad, are you afraid of water and the water deep, you have to do like this, you see me? Just make sure so you pass somewhere high. Don't keep dog around to safety. You see, boss? Watch it. Pass around to safety, you see me? If not get drowned, if not drowned. Everything on the water, all the dog assist, all the dog I try to find safety. Yeah, man, the whole place flood out. Truck, bus, car, nothing can move. Me not gonna let you, man. Whole of Lucy flood out, man. See the whole crowd, everybody who have their vehicle have to park up and look. Whether them a police, soldier, fireman, everybody. And I tell you, say, whole like go all the way back in that town.
And he says the economy doing well, the economy booming. But are you aware that the two members of parliament who sits in the house, Tamika, whatsoever her name, and Dave Brown, are two Labour Party member of parliament who are the MPs for Hanover? Look at the state of the roads in Hanover. To even the dog, you know. Even the dog, Jamaica.
We're going to the dogs.
You can't call that road. You have to call that. Our beautiful speaking, it say, Sea of Galilee. That is the Sea of Galilee, you know. That is the Sea of Galilee. But tonight is going, nobody bring her over here. Nobody bring them over here, producer. Take them down. We not give them no notice much over here. But only know my mouth a goat mouth, you know, quote me.
No, for real.
How much time?
2 times.
How much time 33 play today?
2 in the morning.
Yeah, and
10:30 and 10:30.
See that Jamaica?
Omega.
It man star what?
Omega.
Jamaica coming up and tell us that the 33 I go play.
And it play 10:30.
And the 33 play 8 o'clock and the 33 play 10:30.
Good have mercy. I'm in a bind. Me say, good have mercy. Me don't call her. Me say, no, me not.
No, me hear about it.
Me not call
Mr. Marsh called me about the 33. And two other lady called me, Miss Elena, what say, teacher the 33. Yeah, man. Me tell you no last night.
Nice $10,000.
It would have been how much money?
Mega man, some right.
No, yeah, Jamaica. Me tell you no yesterday, said the 33 I go play and sit down to make it play. Me not get. My God. But another goat that me a talk about. You remember me telling you Jamaica say, look out for further demonstration in the hotel sector. Who remember when me said to you say, look out for further demonstration in the hotel sector, because me tell you Jamaica as I said, you know, when one something start to take a triple effect. Show the clip, producer. Show the clip where the people must say, we want money. We want money. Play it, play it, play it. Can't me telling you something? Jamaica. No money, no work. This is also an all-inclusive hotel. Backside, one of my students say, me catch it and me mega. Happy for you, my student. You have to send me a partner draw out tight. My student say, teacher, me catch it and me mega. Happy for you, my student. But students, tonight I welcome to our platform Opposition Senator Janice Allen, the spokesperson on tourism and linkages. Good night, Senator Allen.
Good night, Andre, and to your listeners. Thank you so much for having me. This is my first time.
And I'm sure it won't be the last, because when you become the Minister of Tourism, I'm going to keep you in check to make sure these situations that are happening now don't happen under your regime.
Well, that's the important thing. Must always be kept in check. And we're always going to welcome that. And the opposition will welcome being kept in check.
So let me introduce who Senator Allen is to Jamaica. So Senator Janice Allen is a spokesperson on tourism and linkages. She's also the caretaker MP candidate for Central St. James. But we will be talking more tonight on what is happening in the tourism sector. And if time allows, we will take up a little domestic politics, right? Okay. So, Senator Allen, I'm going to play a synopsis. Producer, I want you to play the 6-minute, 50-second video, because Senator Allen was on the ground today talking to the people as to what, getting their first-hand experience as to what their situations are. So I want you guys to listen keenly to what is happening with the tourism workers. And then Senator Allen is going to come and give us a further reality check tonight. Play it for me there.
And say, yo, give me one money gun, one pack of salt, and I'm the salt. So why you can't sign the paper? I'll give you the sign.
So one thing. So what is a union?
Make a move. Yo, me want to pass the listen, you know what I'm going to talk. Yeah, we leader, you know. They're afraid to talk. And you tell me, what is good? Whoever people to me and come up and say what decide to do, and move. But people to me and come up and tell me what decide to do. Yeah. No money don't catch a one part and can't move. By the time for me people get left, I mean a gas alone left to come back here. If you get paid Thursday, Friday before pay come.
Friday 5:30.
Every week, yes. It go change. You don't see no change. A two bartender run one bar. And you have to do bar porter work. You have to do every type of work. A bar was supposed to work with 4 bartenders. A bar support, which is the bar porter. 2 bartenders do that. And then supervisor tell us, say, yo, bar chop out the ice, so if you run go for ice and come back and the hotel, you say you for left the bar, left the service and go for it. A slavery in a brother. I'm going to tell him directly. Put on my name because I don't care, because I tell him already. And when he tell me, say, yo, it's a strong word, I say, hey, go to HR with him, I tell him, say, they don't care, I say, yo, carry, go there, because I will go tell him. I go back there, because I tell him something feel. Yeah, man. Brother, $1.95 you work for wine, brother. And the money you pay, you have to pay, brother. You understand me? Maybe $2, brother. How wine, brother. If you do something when if you have a bar, run a bar and kill yourself, I run up and down, brother. You come and work a month, you can't find nothing to use a morning time. You run gas storm and try to get things on storm. When you got storm, you get from storm. I one man in a storm, I'll tell you, say, yo, brother, me under pressure. You can't kill him. I can kill him a fight, you don't go fight. You understand me? You fight, you don't go fight, brother, it don't make no sense because guess what, you fight over the big man things. You can't do that, brother. You understand me? So, brother, a slave, bro. That's how they with them right now. So
the rest of men. Like to be part of our police. And like I said to everybody, we'll be back to in 24 hours with a summary concrete answer.
The concern, overwork, low wages, what do you have to say about
that? That's correct. The low wages, I talked to them, I'll be back tomorrow. The overwork is like a shorter staff. So we need to improve our hiring process to give all the full mining guide in order to operate in a very nice way. I was listening about the housekeeping, too many rooms. That's why I'm here. That's why I need to understand in order to fix it. I'm here because I want to ask my stuff.
I understand you with all this stuff around you. What's happening inside?
I'm sorry?
What's happening inside now while we're out here with all this stuff?
I mean, we are facing some challenges. I understand their frustration. I understand really. That's why I'm here. The Rose is here. The HR is here. In order to understand, to listen from them, and we need to come back with a solution for them. That's
that's what we want to do.
Senator Janice Allen, and I am the Shadow Minister of Tourism, Opposition spokesperson. So I'm here this morning having received a call not too long ago that the staff are out striking. And this follows on the heels of recent action by other staff members elsewhere. Just last week in the Senate, we had the senator on the government side who is in charge of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, speaking of the importance of tourism workers and their conditions of employment and the importance of ensuring that workers are fairly treated and treated in a way that make them feel like they're part of and partners in the tourism industry. What we see here and some of the concerns raised are important concerns that must be heard. And I look forward to having the discussion with management as to the urgency with which they are going to address these concerns. Some of them include the calculation of their, not incentive, but calculation of their commission in terms of some of the services that they provide, whether it's in the spa or elsewhere. And just generally contract work seems to be a constant issue. In terms of, there are people who are saying that there are people here for 13 years, 16 years on regular contract, year in, year out, and this will make it impossible for them to do business outside because of not having security of tenure. So these are crucial matters that I'm very interested, and it's very important that we have them addressed and have them attended to. Because at the end of the day, the workers are the backbone of the industry, and the tourism industry is indeed vital, and the tourism industry must, at the end of the day, be there to serve the people as it is to serve the economy of the country. So I'm here to address and speak to the people, and also speak to the management of the
They feed you, they clean up after you. They deserve it. They deserve it, man. Right? The staff treated us amazing, right? I mean, everybody out here. You guys run this place. Right. Hospitality is awesome. Everything's clean. The food is always delicious.
You're not paying enough for it.
Right. Give them some more money. I mean, you guys deserve it. They deserve it. Give them some more money.
You know, there's no entertainment. You know, it's a lot less fun. You know, we're kind of standing around. Nobody's talking to us.
Would it affect you coming back to Jamaica? Based on what is happening here, it affect you coming back to Jamaica?
No, man, absolutely not. I'm still gonna be out here. I love it out here. I don't even want to go home.
What we need for here to come off our road, because it's here, you're not gonna get paid today. You can't get paid to take care of foolish.
Well, one of the things he just expressed is about a commitment in 24 hours to look at this.
So why can't we hold to the 24 hours commitment?
No, this is different. 24 hours. It's tomorrow.
The difference today is.
Hold on.
All right, now they are 24 hours. Hold on. You have been given 24 hours publicly. Okay. The media captured the GM saying it publicly. Hold on, man. Resident manager, a representative of the hotel.
Senator Janice Allen.
Yes.
You turned trade unionist today.
No, you know what I have always been. I'm consistently a supporter of the workers in the industry, and that's the reason I went there today. And the fact too is that as I am also a supporter of the workers in the industry, I'm supportive of the industry being as profitable as it can be in order that Jamaicans can benefit. And that's my focus, is to find a balance, a fair and balanced industry that provides not only for investors, whatever size, local or foreign investors, but also for the workers who keep the wheels turning. And I responded to the call when I heard that they were out there because I wanted to hear from them myself directly. I didn't want it to be third hand or second hand. I wanted to hear it directly. And I heard some very interesting stories, and it was rather consistent across the board in terms of what I kept hearing from different staff members from different departments, and I think the concerns are understandable. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's feeling the pinch of higher cost of living, And I'm sure too, the hotels are experiencing higher cost of operations. Where is the balance, and how is the balance found to ensure that both continue to benefit fairly?
So you're telling me that a hotel worker is working $1.95 per hour? Is that practicable?
Well, I didn't do the calculation myself. I recall speaking to one member of staff who, or member of the team who, I don't remember how many years she said she was there, but multiple years she's working there. And she said that her hourly rate has just moved to $300 an hour. Now, I want to, these are things that I want to validate or confirm with the hotel and the operators because, for example, there are many people who work because as you heard in the clip, the resident manager, Daniel, he made mention of the fact that there are a number of people who are, they're short staff, and they're short staff for whatever reason, they're short staff. And there are people who work multiple hours over their normal allocated time. But unfortunately, they are not, they say, receiving overtime or additional pay. And there are those who, like people in housekeeping. Some of them mentioned that they agree that on a normal day, they're supposed to turn over like 13 rooms. And there are people who saying because of short staffedness, they're ending up turning over like having to turn over like 20 rooms.
Wow.
And the resident manager agreed and he accepted that. And he said that is something that they're working to resolve. So in my mind, I don't think anything that was said by the staff was anything that was not true. What I believe is that over time, and this is what they're saying, over time, they have not had the response that they have been hoping to get. And this is how they have ended up out there. Now, you would have heard me in the clip saying, listen, the manager has given a commitment to respond to particularly the payment issues within 24 hours. That's what he said. And I thought that was a reasonable response on the part of the manager. And even I tried to convince them, say, listen, go back to work. He has given you 24 hours. Allow the 24 hours. It was about 10 something in the morning. I said, listen, it's now roughly 11 o'clock. Give him until the 11 o'clock and the commitment that he has made to come back to you and to give you an answer and so that you would, at least the discussions can continue. They were resolute. I mean, I try to encourage them to go in, but I can understand the frustration. And our job, whether we're in government or we're in opposition, is to first listen to the people, understand their concerns, and do everything in our power to address those concerns. That is why we're there. We're there to serve the people, and the people come in all forms. The people come in form of workers, the people come in form of investors, the people come in form of large and small business operators. And the job of government is to ensure that there's listening ear to all the constituents so that we can find the balance, that balance. That's why.
So the salary is one issue.
Yes.
What else are some of the issues that the people have, the tourism workers are talking about?
Well, at this particular property, I remember now this is one property. This is
out of many.
This is just one property, and the salary. There was also the issue, and sometimes when we say contract workers, I think we don't fully understand and appreciate the impact that has. So there are people there are workers there who range in length of time in terms of tenure. Some are there for 2 years, 1 year. Some are there for 5, 6, 10 years, 12 years, many years. Some are there from 2010, they say. And what they have experienced, and this is their experience that I am listening to and recounting to you and your listeners now.
Yes.
Is that every year they get a new contract. So they have a contract break and then they get a new contract. They do get some health benefits, but they say it's not
adequate.
It's not a lot. They get dental, but the amount that they get for dental or the amount that they get for prescription by the time they go to the doctor or to the pharmacy twice for the year, it's depleted. And that can always be looked at as a separate issue. They also say that when they're not
permanent, like you have a job that says that you are there for 3 years or 5 years, you have a contract, because contracts come in different lengths of time. But if you are not permanent or seen as permanent, you can't, for example, enter into, they say they can't, in their words, we can't do any business. Business take all form. It means going to the bank, doing business, because you can't prove that you are a full-time employee, even though for all intents and purposes they are full-time based on the number of years that they've been there rolling over. So that's one issue, the contract issue. There is also the issue, as I mentioned before, of overwork. That's their word. Based on, like I gave you the example with housekeeping, or the bartender who spoke. I met him today. His name is Alvin. Who spoke? He said, based on the amount of work that is required to be done by any one person, it is the work of more than one person. So that's overwork. And then I spoke to you about overtime already. They also mentioned some issues like when you're not permanent, there's also the issue of sick leave. And sick leave, they don't, for those people who are on contract, they don't qualify for sick leave until working full 6 months before qualifying for sick leave. So it's a multiplicity of things. And then there's this one issue. It's a people thing. They don't feel heard. If they don't feel like they're understood, then it makes things more difficult. And this came out a lot when some members of the spa team said, for example, that they earn commission on services rendered in the spa. So they have a base pay and then they get a commission. And from their understanding, they are on an 8% commission per service, massage, whatever it may be. But every time they get their pay stubs or their paycheck, and they do the calculation, they know that I do like 5 services, 8%, what that is supposed to equal to. They are saying that it's always short.
Wow.
And they couldn't understand. And so they kept asking questions and keep asking questions. And they said recently they found out that they weren't getting 8%. So I asked.
So how much were they getting?
They say 5.
Wow.
Right. No, again, this is something that needed to be discussed and understood, because I believe in hearing all sides. And the GM, not the GM, the resident manager who was there, he was agreeing that some of the things need to be clearer because the people are saying that they're not transparent. Now, the question I asked the members of the staff who are on this commission structure, I asked, what is the contract that you have that says 8%? So they said they don't have a written contract.
Wow.
So you don't have a written contract. So these are the things that will cause people to be disgruntled.
So then he is a ear. So them have that them should get ear is a word of mouth. But when them look on the pay stub, it's reflecting 5%. But because there's no formal contract.
And in my mind, I made sure I was very responsible, I believe, when I went there. I asked to speak, to listen to. I listened to as many as I could. They were in different departments, whether they're in the bar service area, housekeeping, maintenance, even those who work in the staff canteen. I spoke with a wide cross section of staff. And I also spoke with management. I spoke with the resident manager. I spoke with another manager. I don't remember what department, and also the general manager from a sister property who was there and is there for a 3-week. I guess they move across.
Because breathless and secrets are the
Zoetry also. So this manager was from Zoetry and is a former manager at that secrets property. So I made sure to get their perspective and to understand what is happening. And the fact that they're prepared to hear and listen to the staff and to come back within a period of time, it means that they're recognizing that some of the concerns are valid. Now, do I believe that we must upend the industry? No, not at all. What I believe that we must do is find ways to make sure that those who make up the service delivery of the industry, that they are fairly treated, and what they put in, they get out fairly. And I think that is a reasonable position to take. That is my fervent view. This is my position that I've always maintained.
because there's no tourism without people. And our people, these are hardworking people. And I saw the chef, I met the chef. He said, listen, I love my job. I love my job. I love what I do, but I just want to be treated fairly. I mean, when somebody's going to say that, he literally poured his heart out. He said, I love what I do. I just want to get fair treatment. And that's
I want to ask a question, because when the protest happened at Royalton, it was about 2 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks, 3 weeks. It was actually on Heroes Day, so yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The argument about the base pay that hotel workers are getting is alarming. Should the PNP government take the reins of government 2025, is the PNP willing to have a commission that looks across the hotel sector, how the workers are being paid, and then come to an agreement in terms of what should be a start price for hotel workers?
Of course. We believe in dialogue, and we believe in finding solutions. And our commitment is to the people, and our commitment is also to investors. And this is not going to be resolved one-sidedly. It has to be resolved with ensuring that we come together, recognizing what the major issues are, and tackle them accordingly. Any minister of tourism, any minister of finance, any minister of labor will have to be a part of that discussion, that dialogue, and that willingness and commitment to get it done, along with those who are in the industry, both from the employee side, because it's important to have representation in that regard, and also from the operator side. And I think that's a fair approach to take, looking at an overall commission or whatever it may be called, but an overall review of the industry to ensure that we are providing the best for our workers.
So you're saying that when you become minister, you're going to be doing an overall review of the situation with the tourist workers.
When the PNP forms the government, and when Mark Golding forms the cabinet, which will be a balanced representation for all the areas, we will ensure that this is a matter that is high on the agenda and the priority, because we believe that workers are crucial. You see, Andre, we have lost a lot of good workers to overseas.
Yes.
And when you ask people who are leaving or who have left, they will tell you what their main issue is, and it is what their remuneration is. That is a major reason. Tourism is a vital industry. It contributes significantly to our overall economy. There's no doubt about it. What we want, and as a PNP government, what we'll be focused on is ensuring that as much of what is earned by the industry, as much more than what currently retains in Jamaica, we want more of that to be retained. And how can that be retained? It is retained not only by increased wages, but it's also retained by ensuring that Jamaican-owned businesses have an equal or equitable opportunity to get a piece of the pie, whether it is in transportation, entertainment, food, whether it is in attractions.
Yes.
So that more and more Jamaicans can benefit from the industry, because it has the potential for just that. So that is our commitment, and that will be our focus.
But even though that is your commitment, would a PNP administration equally be looking at permanent employment for contract workers, particularly in tourism? How do you go about? Because apparently this is an issue for many workers, that they're working but them not have no permanency, and if they don't have no permanency, they don't have a pension. How we talk about that?
Well, this is not something just only for tourism.
But I want to specifically zoom to tourism today.
Right. Okay, well, not a problem. Well, we have spoken, and as Shadow Minister of Tourism for the last 4 years, this has been a constant comment on my part and that part of the party that I'm a member of, a part of the opposition. And that has always been a commitment of ours to look at how we can review this matter of contract workers. No, there's always going to be a place for contract workers, always, because sometimes you're going to need somebody for a short period of time. But it shouldn't be that so many of your workers end up in this category. I mean, all of those who I met with today, I would say, rough calculation, at least 60% of those people that I interacted with today were on some form of rolling contract, therefore not permanent. You can be employed for 3 years on a contract, can't you? And that's considered somewhat permanent. But if you're on one that is at some places have it at 6 months, some places at as a year. The question is, what should contracts look like? What can contracts look like that would not find it offensive to the worker or to the employer? And that I think is a reasonable assessment to begin to make. Where it is an issue, I believe, is if you have 6 months and then you take a break and then 6 months, and those total 6 months sometimes go into 3 years. Why didn't I just get a 3-year contract? So to me, it is how do we make it a fair system so that it does not create a difficulty for me as an employee where I can't go to the bank, for example, and say that I am fully employed or permanently employed somewhere, even though when you look at it, the grand picture over the last 3 years, I have been employed. You know what I mean? So for me, these are the things that are of concern, and we must be willing to have these discussions. We must be willing to have the dialogue, and it not be seen as anti-investor. Because let me tell you something: the People's National Party government of the past and of the future, we have proven that we are investor friendly. It is because of the investment policies that we had, for example, in the 90s, mid to late 90s and early 2000s, that led to the increased investments in tourism, in the construction of so many of the many chains that are here today. So we are understanding and considerate of investors. What we want to make sure is that, for example, when persons who come to Jamaica who are on work permit, for example, that we do continue the rules that are there, where if you come to work in Jamaica for an area that we cannot find the person locally, that there is an understudy so that after your tenure, then we have a Jamaican who is in the position to carry out that work. So it is, the laws are there, but we just want to have the commitment to do what is required to be done.
Tell me something. The hotel guest tax. Can you explain what is the purpose of the hotel guest tax?
Guest tax? Which one?
The hotel guest tax. Hotels have a thing where their guests are expected to pay the hotel guest tax. Do you know about that?
Well,
and what?
There are different taxes. I mean, Jamaica is is not singular in this regard in terms of having different types of tax, room tax, or different types of taxes. I wouldn't want to comment on that one, having not recently reviewed it.
Oh, so you don't want to comment on that one. But what is the government doing primarily about? I remember at one point Minister Bartlett spoke about a pension fund for tourism workers. What is the progress of that?
Well, the last time I had we haven't had a review or an update from the minister in quite some time about the pensions. And the pension scheme that has been implemented by the government is one that is not mandatory. It is something that people can contribute to whether they wish to, right? And in the initial stages, the pickup was reasonable, but it had slowed a bit. And the reason is that it's really not a mandatory thing. And then when you look at the fact that when you look at a person's paycheck, and they're to make a decision in terms of, yes, pension is a good idea, is something to invest in for your future, and that is something that ought to be encouraged. But if you have $100 and you have to look at what your cost of living is, where do you make the decision if you're not in a position to properly contribute to that pension? So I don't think that it is that people don't want to contribute to it. I think that when you look at the overall salary for many of the workers in the industry, not all, but many of the workers in the industry, it might not be conducive to a contribution to pension. And that is something.
Oh, so the money come out and feed them little shillings, and when them look at the shillings, it is for them to decide whether they what they want to pay the pension.
Well, you see, pension is a contributory thing. You have the employee contribute and the employer contribute to pensions, right? As it stands now, the pension scheme within the industry, it's not yet mandatory for the employer to contribute to it.
What a bangara. Wait, Senator Allen. So you tell me all of them pretty shibang hotel where charge me 800 US a night.
You go to some good hotels, man.
No, man, I just wish. Me just sit and wish.
No, there are some hotels that over the years have already had a pension scheme. There are some hotels already have had it over the years.
But is it so when people retire, are you seeing that them getting them pension?
The people who have been contributing over the years to those established pension schemes, yes, they have. I mean, the reality is that pensions is not something new, and pensions in the industry is not new. It's just that not everybody has a pension scheme in place for their workers. For those who don't have one, the government, I mean, and this is something that was introduced, I believe it was in 2007 under Ed Bartlett's first iteration as minister. And then the work continued when Wickham McNeil went into office, and then it continued when Ed Bartlett came back in. So this is something that all governments, successive governments, are of the view that it's a good thing that needs to happen, because you want where everybody who has contributed to an industry like this have the opportunity when they're finished to be able to benefit from their years of work and investment in the industry. And prior to this introduction, there are those entities that have had pensions in place, and there have been good pension schemes. But you know, the industry is such an excuse me, is such an important and vital industry that we want to make sure that at every chance we get where it can be improved in terms of how it operates for the workers and for those who invest. And remember, investors come in all forms, you know. Investors are Jamaican investors too, you know. There are Jamaican investors in this industry over the many years, the decades that the industry has been in effect. There are local investors, whether they're operators of attractions or they're operators of transportation or operators of accommodations. What we want to make sure is that as the economy, which the investor feels it,
yes,
believe me, the cost of operating, it has increased as much as the cost of living has increased, whether it is energy cost or other costs. So these are some of the things that are impacting the operation of the overall industry. So whilst it is important, and you hear all of these glorious talk of new investors and new investors, what we want to make sure is that who is already here and the workers who are already here, that they're benefiting as greatly as possible. And we just want to make sure that we find the best avenue for the workers as we do for the investors, whether they're foreign or local.
I'm going to put you in a very uncomfortable position to answer this question, but I want to ask.
Yes.
Don't you think that as a government and as an opposition, it's time for us to rethink how investors invest in Jamaica? Because I have seen where investors just do what they do. A majority of their investment doesn't stay in Jamaica. How can we fix that?
You know, I remember when the president, it was of Rwanda, had visited Jamaica on the invitation of the current government. And I attended a function and I asked the president
how do they ensure that the money earned from their tourism, which is of a different type, but still, how their tourism, how they ensure that the money is reinvested and retained in Jamaica, in Rwanda. And he said without hesitation that when investors come in, they have commitments that they agree to in terms of how the investor will operate and what they will reinvest in the country, and that is agreed beforehand. Now, going forward, what we want to do and what I think is important for us to do, and I think this is part of what we talk about. I mean, people might have heard me say this already, talking about vertical integration. So an investor comes in or has a discussion with the government to invest in hotel operation. But that hotel operator might end up in transportation. That's vertically integrated into other areas, and might invest in other areas. And transportation, if we use that as an example, is one of the areas that obviously that's a Jamaican possibility for Jamaican companies to be the owners and operators of transportation. But you have many who end up in the destination management business.
Yes.
Where they then subcontract Jamaican operators. And I'm saying that area of the business or the sector of the industry, I want to see us ensure that if you come here for hotel, you stay in hotel.
So as to protect
Yes.
the natives,
Yes.
the Jamaican people,
Indigenous Jamaican companies that are here and have over the years benefited from being in the industry, want them to continue to benefit, but we also want them to benefit as the industry grows. We want them to grow with the industry. So that is one way to ensure that more money stays in Jamaica. That is one way.
So what are other ways that you're contemplating?
You know, I believe that when we are sitting down with investors, I want to have dialogue with them on an area like housing. Now, I have been hearing this talk about there's a shortage of workers. We can't find any workers. My view is that there are workers who could be living in Clarendon right now, but maybe the hotel operation is in Montego Bay.
Yes.
Or there are workers in St. Elizabeth. But the issue that many will have who are in Clarendon or St. Elizabeth to come to Montego Bay, as an example, is the cost of housing. If you're building a property of 1,000 rooms, it means that you need at least 2,000 workers. Those 2,000 workers do not all live right next door to where you're operating. So how do we then get people to relocate from other parts of Jamaica, whether for 3 years or 5 years?
But Senator Allen, think critically, you know.
Yes.
Me would have want to relocate to Montego Bay when me I get less than 50,000 a month. When me can depend TikTok, I make like Jay, then I Rosalie and Uncle Derek. 150, 200, 300,000 a week.
And maybe that is what, in addition to housing, we have to look at the overall pay. And you mentioned that before, the importance of reviewing the entire pay structure within the industry to ensure that people can find it attractive to want to participate in it. Because there's no doubt about it that tourism is not just competing with tourism, it's competing with those who are in the business of online work and all other things, that the borders of the world are so removed that they can participate in these businesses like yourself online all over. So my view is that if we want to attract and retain the best of the best for the industry to deliver the best of the best in service, then we have to find the conditions which are considered to be the best of the best.
So we're talking about livable wages.
More than livable, but yes, at least livable.
So how do you deal with these investors who are going to say we're not paying the workers more than this particular amount? How do we deal with those? When you become minister, you're going to have some of them who go and say, if it is that we can't get to pay them at this flat rate, I'm going to take up my things and leave Jamaica. How are you going to deal with those persons, Senator Ali? How are you going to deal with those investors?
I think ultimately we are at a place in our tourism life cycle, the maturity that we are at here. We still have a product that is, you don't have people coming here because it's not attractive. You have people wanting to invest because it's attractive. And I believe fundamentally that we have a role, a responsibility as government to ensure, because we serve the people first, to ensure that we have these tough decisions or discussions that must be had. And I have found that the government of the People's National Party of the past, we have been able to negotiate and negotiate well. We have seen it because we see the results of those discussions and negotiations. And we have good relations, relations that will be forged, relations that will be um, sort of supported to ensure that we get what is best for everybody. Because a good negotiation, somebody always told me, a good negotiation is when you come to the table and each of us walk away with having lost just a little bit. So you're not going to go in there and get everything that you want. When you go to negotiate, do you get everything that you want?
No, I normally get most though, because
All right. You have some skills, but the fact is that you walk away with having lost a little bit. So you've gotten most, you've lost a little bit.
But don't you think for the past 8 years, the
Mhm.
Jamaica tourism workers have lost more and not a little bit?
Well, when I saw what I saw today, it is very clear that there are some workers in the industry who are dissatisfied. And based on what they have said, and it's not something that happened overnight, based on what they said, I believe it is reasonable to get from that we have work to do to make our workers feel better about investing their time, their effort, their talent in an industry that has the potential to have more rewards for them. I believe that is fundamental.
In crafting a policy or the manifesto for the People's National Party, don't you think as spokesperson for tourism, you possibly need to start a series of town hall meetings with the tourist workers? Because if it is that it is from Royalton to Breathless, probably it is Sandals next.
You see, I don't want to assume what might happen next. What I will say is that dialogue is important. Dialogue between the opposition and the people. As we saw today, I think I had pretty good dialogue with them, and I think they're open to more dialogue to understand what their concerns are, to make sure that we, as an opposition, fully appreciate their position. And it doesn't just rest with workers in the industry. There are others who we continue to have dialogue with, whether they are transport providers or they are restaurant owners, or they are the people, for example, those people who are, villa owners and operators. Just this week, I met with a high end villa operator who is now living in Jamaica and offering the villa service in Westmoreland. It's a place that has rates of like thousands of dollars per night, US dollars for their villa, high end. But when they talked, and when I said, tell me some of the concerns that you have, one of the concerns that he has is the issue, for example, of cost of inputs, the cost of inputs, whether local vegetables and so on, or they also mention the fact that when they have visitors who fly into Montego Bay and have to travel from Montego Bay to Westmoreland, the road network getting
Oh
there.
Lord, the road network that the Prime Minister is saying.
And by the time you're offering a high end that you're charging thousands of US dollars per night, and the experience from Montego Bay Airport, which ought to be somewhere in the region of about 45 an hour's drive if the roads are clear and free. But then you go through the potholes and the bad road along the road between once you go up Long Hill across to Sav in that direction. It is so bad. The roads are so bad. And that's part of the experience and it's not just for the visitors, it's the same workers who live in Montego Bay and work in Westmoreland, or live in Westmoreland and work in Montego Bay. So overall, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. The consultation is happening, whether it is with owners or workers, investors in different areas, transportation. I consult regularly with them, and also people who are in other support services that are integral to the tourism product.
But I gather that there is a great frustration amongst workers in the tourism sector. Because when I listen, the worker talked about the kind of disrespect that they get from the management.
Mm-hmm.
And they spoke about, the soft skills not being applied. And apparently it is not just here at Breathless. We heard about the said situation happening at Royalton. Should you be, and when you become minister, my apologies, minister of tourism, how are you going to address those issues?
Well, it's the same, when I listen to some of the concerns that were expressed, many of them just talking about just generally how people talk to them, and how they make them feel. It's serious. And these are important matters that are sometimes culturally an issue in terms of when you have non-Jamaicans, especially because there's a complaint, and let us not try and to pretend that it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
We have some of the operators or some of the hotels have foreigners who are there, and there are cultural clashes, and we have to bridge that gap. Nobody likes anybody to speak to them badly or
So
not.
you're talking about the people who are talking that about the Mexicans who treating them bad and the Spanish who treating them bad?
I mean, they said it. Those were
Mhm.
their words. They said it, and that's serious issues. And at the end of the day, we're all people. We're people, and we want to be heard. We want to be seen. We want to be respected. All of us, no matter who we are and where we operate from, that is our desire as human beings. And the issues in the industry, all of the issues require us to come to the table and be willing to work them through for the betterment of the industry and for the workers and investors in the industry. I fundamentally believe that all these things are possible to be resolved. If we're open to dialogue and we're serious about protecting our people and protecting our Jamaica and making Jamaica better for the future Jamaicans,
Mm-hmm.
our commitment. This is our responsibility. This is our duty. This is why we're here. This is why we're doing what we're doing. Because I want to see Jamaica 5, 10, 20 years from now, where people, Jamaicans, feel hopeful in Jamaica and not believe that in order for their lives to be better, they have to go outside of Jamaica. And that includes being able to find decent work,
Mm-hmm.
be paid above a minimum wage and to be paid a livable wage, to be able to find affordable housing, to send their children to school, to have good transportation, access to health care. These are things that will make people feel hopeful for the future of their country. And that's what we're working towards. And that's what we're committed to.
I want to ask another question. With relation to the craft vendors, I've visited particularly like in the Ocherius area, and the craft vendors there are saying that the Ocherius craft market basically dead. The ships not coming to them. They are carrying the people to the Indian and the Chinese to buy these products. How are we protecting the craft vendors? What does a PNP government look like in terms of protecting the craft vendors?
The craft vendors over the years have played an integral part to in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were last in government, we crafted a craft policy.
Mm-hmm.
And the industry has to evolve with the demands of the traveler. And
Mm.
it's our duty to help the people in the industry evolve. Many craft traders, many craft producers have done well by themselves and their family to educate their children, to find homes for themselves.
And it is our responsibility to ensure that it is developed and evolves over time to be better and for them to gain even more from it. And what does this include? It includes the physical infrastructure and how much we're willing to invest in it. We have right now in Montego Bay, as an example, and you made mention of Ocherios, there are multiple craft markets in a small geographic area. And if getting to the craft market is not a pleasant experience, if inside of the craft village or market doesn't provide the variety and the options and the types of products to dazzle my eyes and make me interested, it's not going to work. And I believe that the solution for craft is not only about sending people there. It needs to be sustainably developed or redeveloped in the first instance in order for it to work. And it has to be a commitment both on the part of the government and the respective agencies and also the craft traders themselves. We have to do it together.
But nothing happening in the craft markets, you know. The people not making nothing there, you know. They're not making a dollar, you know.
They're not making a dollar for a number of reasons. One of them is that you have people who are coming to Jamaica, and if they're not exploring and going outside to see all of Jamaica, they're not going to necessarily experience fully the craft market. Whether it is people who come here on ships who are not necessarily coming off of the ships. Why are they not coming off the ships? You see, we have actually seen a decrease in visitor arrivals since earlier this year when there was a travel advisory, you know.
So the visitor arrivals have been affected. Talk about the thing, Senator Ali.
Arrive the travel advisory. If you ask anybody in the industry, craft traders, transport providers, attraction operators, ask anybody, have you seen a decrease in business since the travel advisory? And I will tell you that all of them will say yes.
When I looked at Dolphin Cove suffered immensely.
That's an attraction. And when did they start to see the reduction?
But if I recall, the government said the travel advisory wouldn't impact the sector.
They did say that, but they had to pull back those words. They had to walk back those words. There's no way that our travel advisory is not going to. I mean, over the years, we have seen travel advisories come, they have gone, and they go. But for some reason, this one has stuck with us and has caused us problems, the industry. And I say us because this is all of Jamaica. And we know that tourism impacts a lot of other areas, right? Because the person who owns a taxi.
I want to ask you, Senator Ali, in terms of percentage and money, how bad is it?
Well, I know that there are some entities, some businesses that have seen reductions like 20 odd percent, near 30% in business.
Has anybody had to close for a time?
They've had to scale back. Well, a part of it, you know, they've had to scale back. Usually, what month are we in now? November. Some have had to scale back. A lot of smaller operators have been impacted. And then remember, you know, there's a lot of things impacting the industry, you know. You remember a few months ago that you had a situation in the grill with the water?
Yes.
We haven't heard anything about it, you know, and that is because we've had a lot of rainfall. But that problem is not fixed. And that problem impacted a lot of operators in the grill in terms of having to purchase water. Those things have impact. The larger the properties, and even the small ones too, they had to purchase water, and that has impact. Compounded with the impact of the travel advisory, compounded with the impact of burial. There are a lot of things that have impacted the industry. And when I talk to those who are in the industry, they're all feeling it. I notice I haven't heard much about that same water situation, but I'm watching it carefully. I'm watching it keenly.
So I saw you were at a big event at where that place where them have the 1,000 people.
Oh.
Big shenanigans.
So hold on there. You see where I go?
Yeah. I might not, that I can be very ghostly, but I saw you went to that big thing where Adam Stewart put on. I want to have big shebang down at Montego Bay Convention Center. But Senator Allen, I hear the government talk about them get new PR company to market Jamaica. And you put out a video asking about this PR company. So we have the Jamaica
Tourist Board.
Is the Jamaica Tourist Board responsible for marketing Jamaica?
The Jamaica Tourist Board is responsible for marketing Jamaica's tourism product so that it can attract visitors to Jamaica so that Jamaica can benefit. That's their mandate. Promote Jamaica as a tourism destination. When I was at that event, the Prime Minister made a statement, and I don't recall it offhand now, but the reason I raised the questions about what he said was he made what I understood and many in the audience understood to be an announcement of a new PR agency that is going to be working on the image of Jamaica's reputation and Jamaica's image abroad. And subsequently, a few weeks later, I heard it on I heard a news item where JAMPRO, that's Jamaica Promotions, JAMPRO is the agency to which this entity will report and is to focus on Jamaica's image overall. Part of Jamaica's image is its tourism image, as you know. So it's clear that these are two separate agencies that have two different mandates. Now, all I wanted to find out from that is, whilst I believe at any point in time, however you can make Jamaica seen as a place to do business or a place to invest or a place to visit, is always going to be a positive in my mind, especially when the product is up to scratch.
Yes.
But I am always going to be curious if you speak of this agency, which is an overseas agency. I just wanted to know what was the cost or what is the cost and the terms of reference to ensure that there's not any overlapping, because if the JTB is established to do what it is doing, not that it can't collaborate with another, but is there an overlap? That's all I was asking. I haven't had the full answer, but I suspect since they're reporting to JAMPRO that there might not be any overlap, but I still await further and better particulars.
But do we really need an overseas entity to do Jamaica's marketing, though? Tourism marketing?
Well, Jamaica Tourist Board markets Jamaica, and that's local entity. Yes, they have some foreign partners that helps it to do its work. Whether there is a need for another entity, I await the terms of reference to understand what it is that they're engaged to do. I would love to see it.
And you don't know the dollar figure?
No, I haven't heard what the dollar
figure. And you don't know how long they're...
No. I don't know the length of time, the contract, the terms of reference, nor the cost.
Interesting.
But I do know from the news report and from further investigations I did that this entity is doing work and reporting to JAMPRO with some local consultations, as far as I understand.
So, I don't know. about the performance evaluation, because I can pay you and we still don't get value for money.
I don't know what the performance evaluation is.
What company got this contract?
I don't know the name of the company. That's what I was asking.
No, this is serious. There's a lot to this tourism. It's one of the biggest sectors in Jamaica.
No, remember, let us be very clear. The Jamaica Tourist Board, which is a Jamaican agency, has work and continues to do work both with local and foreign entities. We have Jamaicans who are placed in positions overseas, working through the Jamaica Tourist Board. We have offices in the US, offices in London. The Jamaica Tourist Board is a worldwide entity, right?
So why do you need an entity to do the marketing outside of the Jamaica Tourist Board?
Well, let us see what the terms of reference reveal. That's the only way we're going to answer it. Let us see what it says. It might be quite valid and useful and necessary, I'm not questioning that. All I'm saying is, let us see what the terms of reference look like.
So when will you know? Have you made a request to know?
I haven't made a formal request. And I still have the opportunity to make a formal request, but I just put it out publicly.
So, Senator Allen, on behalf of the thousands of Jamaicans listening.
How many thousands listening right now?
Almost 6,000.
What?
Yeah, this is a small night. On a big night, we got to 10,000 and more.
What?
So, yeah, man. So we're introducing you as the next minister. Jesus. And I can guarantee after this program, a lot of people go and call you and tell you, boy, Senator Allen, what a good interview. And I'm going to hear back from you again. What? And I'm sure you're not going to be too far and too distant in coming back. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, Senator Allen.
Yes.
We don't have much time, but I see you have made an introduction into representational politics.
Yes. I was waiting for you to get to this part.
No, man, because we have to go carry you back in. I want to make you, on this program, we rub butter puss mouth. I mean, I say your puss, but me I rub the butter your mouth for your people, them tell you, me see you from Pawdna dry, you know, so you have to come back.
Lord, my grandmother taught that, rub butter puss mouth.
Yes, man, rub butter puss mouth. So, Senator Ali, I hear you go and chase a particular ballad out of town, you know.
Well, yes, here it is now. So, I am the standard bearer and the candidate for the next general election to be member of parliament in Central St. James.
Yes.
Central St. James is the heart of St. James. It entails Montego Bay, hardcore Montego Bay. It is all of downtown. It's the commercial district. It is Barnett Street, Barnett Lane, Gully. It is Paradise Row, Salt Spring, Green Pond. It is Rose Heights, Rosemount, parts of Mount Salem. It's Cornwall Court, Portobello. And I am excited at the opportunity that I have been given to do this, because I believe fundamentally in the importance of representation. Good quality representation that has at the heart of what we do the interests of the people and the improvement of their lives, the improvement of our surroundings, our physical infrastructure, whether it's the expansion of our schools, ensuring that our schools are adequately resourced, ensuring that our people in the communities have recreational spaces for both the young and the old, ensuring that we have access to different types of housing options, especially affordable housing for some of the very workers who work in the tourism industry or the BPO or in the civil service. We in Central St. James
We are the home to the majority of the workforce in St. James. The largest community, residential community in St. James is in central St. James, and that is Cornwall Court. Built by the People's National Party, we have places like Farm Heights, and I look forward to being the people's representative in central St. James. I'm a Montigonian. I was born in central St. James. I was born in Brandon Hill. Many people know me living in West Central, which is bordering of Central, but I have always been an advocate for Montego Bay. And this seat, which contains the center of Montego Bay, is exactly where I will be giving 100% of my effort and time to be the people's representative.
So you're giving an eviction notice?
I intend to be the member of parliament.
No, I'm going to ask you tonight. Are you giving an eviction notice, Senator Ali?
I am putting the people on notice that you are looking at the next member of parliament for Central St. James.
All right. So seeing that you don't want to be the landlord, I am the landlord to protect Jamaica, no, sir?
Landlord. So I'm going to call you Landlord Andre.
Yeah, man. So I am giving tonight, I'm going to screen record this. Screen record this and make Eli Clark know that the landlord for Jamaica telling me property at Central St. James need a new tenant. I find a new tenant and the tenant named Janice Allen.
That's right.
So I need him to come out. I need him to, I'm giving him 6 months notice. 6, because I don't want when we go on rent board, them said to me, Sam need more time. So me I give him adequate notice of 6 months. Knock, knock, knock. And Courtney, wait then no man. I giving Courtney the notice to go drop him office.
Okay.
So wait then let me finish right out up. See it. I see all of it stamp up and everything. See there? I stamp it and everything.
That's right.
See it here. Courtney a man in here go down at St. James and give Eli Clark this notice for me. And make him know. See, Jamaica no see me give him the notice. Eviction a come Eli. So this is one of the many me have 48 more notice to go give. Yeah. Yeah, me have 48 more notice to give. Yeah, man, a 48 I wouldn't mind get the 63 seat. Wouldn't mind get the 63. Me did that sleep 2020. And enough of them got take over. So we are do the right thing.
Landlord is back in town.
But
yeah. You know, it's a challenging seat. And you know, our Jamaican women, and I have been prepared by some good Jamaican women like my mother.
Yes, talk about
that. We don't back down from a fight. What we do, you see, because I am focused on the fact that I put the people in front of what I'm doing. I put the people as the reason for what I'm doing. It's not just to be an MP. I don't just want to be called an MP. I want to make a difference.
You want to become the people's representative?
Yes, man. When I look in the town of Montego Bay, there's too much urban decay. There's too much neglect of the center of the town. And I believe when we work together, we can bring it back and bring life to the city, the town of Montego Bay, so that those who live and work there, because it is, and like any other big city in the world, the center is where it's at. The heartbeat is where it's at. And this seat is giving me the opportunity to address the concerns in terms of urban accommodation, urban housing. It is looking at the commercial viability of the different areas within the town.
Yes.
It is looking at how we provide proper transportation for people. Right now, there's too much congestion in Montego Bay, in the city, because we don't have adequate enough transport center that can allow to relieve the pressure from the center of the town and to create the opportunity for people to go to a place that is well equipped, well resourced, so that it can move people in a better way and a more efficient way. It's so congested in Montego Bay. Let me tell you something. And then when I look, for example,
at some of the small businesses that are in Montego Bay.
Yes.
When I want my saltfish and hard bread, you know, the escovite saltfish, I know where to go.
And when you want to do your ear,
And when I want to do my hair, I go up at Lawrence Lane. I know where to go. I get my saltfish at Hart Street and I get my hair done at Lawrence Lane. What a way you keep focus and attention. And then I also know that there are different places. Today I know where to go and get my fruits down on St. Clever's Avenue. The town of Montego Bay is so vibrant. It has always been. My parents operated a business in the heart of Montego Bay on St. James Street for many years. So I'm used to the energy and the excitement of Montego Bay.
So you're a home girl.
Town girl, because when my parents had their restaurant at 45 St. James Street, they used to go around to William Street, otherwise called Gully, to Miss Maud to get their fish. So these are people I know. These are situations and places I know because right now, Miss Maud's son sell fish same way.
So you still abide from him?
Yes. It's an interesting place. It's my home. It's where I'm from, and I'm a hometown girl. I'm from here, born here, and my interest is to serve here and the people of Montego Bay to make it better, not just for residents, for also businesses.
So you're not going to be one of them quasi representatives.
No, man, I'm here. I'm here with the people, for the people. I am of the people. I am for the people, and the people will put me there to serve them and represent them. And that is my 100% commitment. That's my priority.
And one of your priorities to 6 Montego Bay in a way that when it rains, it don't become, because when Montego Bay rains, there's always a problem of major flooding. That is something that you will have to seriously and adequately address when you become MP.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. There's a lot of work to be done. But the good thing is that for the past 27 years, I've been preparing for this role. I started my political work in 1997 with former Minister of Tourism, Francis Toller, who was Member of Parliament for Northwest St. James. And since then, Northwest St. James, part of it has become Central St. James. But these are places that I frequented, places in Salt Spring, Megatop. These are places that I'm familiar with and the people who are there, and I understand their concerns. I've been working in the public sector. I've worked in the Ministry of Tourism. I have worked in other places in government. I've also worked at Jampro. I've worked in the creative industries. I've worked in private sector. And all of the work that I've been doing over the last 27 years, having started my political work in Northwest St. James, has led me to this moment where I understand and appreciate what it takes to be a part of government. I understand and appreciate how I can use my connections and network in the private sector, how to navigate the business of government to bring about the work and the sort of representation that the people deserve. Whether it is, as I said before, recreational spaces, whether it is housing, affordable housing, whether it is making sure that children who live wherever they live, they don't have to be traveling such grave distances to go to school, because right now there are people who live on Princess Street and their children are not able to go to Barks Road Primary, which is a stone's throw away, but they have to be going to places like Green Pond, where they have to take taxi and get there, and it's too costly, and the mother has to decide how many days per week that the child goes to school. Or the child who lives at William Street and has to go to school from Rose Heights or William Street, and they have to take a bus into town from Rose Heights and a bus from downtown to go to school in Cambridge. It cannot continue because we're eating out in terms of the time that children have to spend on these roads to get to school. They sometimes don't go to school as often as they need to, and that is what Damian Crawford talks about in terms of absenteeism, that is leading to underperformance by our children, and these things must be rectified. It is a priority of the next People's National Party government.
Okay, that is the word tonight from. But my final argument, do you think that the tourism workers need to be unionized?
I think in the first instance that tourism workers must be given the opportunity, if they have issues, to be able to express them. I believe our workers, no matter where they are, not just tourism, if they are to be defended, that they have the right to be defended. And if they wish to become members of unions, that they have that right to. I am of the view that there are places in the tourism industry that are not unionized that have worked well. Okay. And I believe that if there's a commitment on the part of the employer to ensure that fair practices are made or implemented and fair treatment, that they get the work, the pay that they deserve, the conditions within which they should work, and the opportunity to see themselves as part of the industry. That's what is important.
But if it is not unionized, are you open to the fact that as tourism minister, you would create a unit within the Ministry of Tourism that deals with unhappy, dissatisfied workers right across the island, that can call in to say, this is my situation here at Sandals, can you look at it for us? And then the team at the tourism ministry will call and to find out and to check and to do their independent checks, etc. Is that something that you're willing to accommodate as minister?
Let me tell you what I'm willing to accommodate. When the Ministry of Tourism across the board prioritizes the workers in the industry, there's not going to be a need for a unit to deal with issues in the industry with workers. If every policy that you put forward and every policy that you advance, focusing on how to make Jamaicans benefit even more from the industry, then those issues will reduce and reduce and reduce over time. And that is why we have to ensure that the next Minister of Tourism is focused on a joined up government approach, working closely with the Minister of Labour and the Minister of Finance and the other relevant ministers to ensure that the best opportunities are provided to our workers. When we make our workers benefit such that they see a future in the industry, that they have hope in the future of the industry, then we know we're doing our job. If it does require a unit, then so be it. But I believe that
you're going to focus on improving the policies,
of course,
improving the workers.
Yes, yes. And also the reinvestment in the industry, ensuring that we continually invest to make it a better product so that we can benefit more. Because I won't be satisfied with 4 million visitors. We should be aiming for more than that. But that will only happen when we have a product that is continually improving, that we have the quality product that is in great demand, that we have workers who are prepared to go the extra mile because they know that when they go the extra mile, that they're the beneficiaries of that extra effort.
Okay. Well, Senator Allen, it was a pleasure having you here. And I look forward to having further discussions and conversations with you.
Thank you so much, Andre. I really appreciate being on your program. I watch you, and I know my mother watch you every night,
Oh, and your mother?
And she watch you 1 o'clock, too,
Oh, so you know everything work one over here?
She updates me.
Okay.
She updates me and say, Andre say.
Okay, then. Awesome. But thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And remember, it's the Christmas season, so you can call me to order some cakes for your constituents. You never know.
Yes. All right.
Oh, nice bangarang fruit cake. You can get the sorrel cake. You can get the rum fire cake. So you can call me and give me a bus and get some cake.
But you're going to be competing with my mother, because her cake wicked,
Well, that's a for your private family business. Not talk about no.
Okay.
The constituents, all right?
All right. We'll talk.
All right, Senator Allen. Bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bless you. Students who not me have the interview. Me still have to sell my product. Me not beg nothing from nobody. Me and sell the product. But I hope you all appreciate the interview tonight. I hope you all appreciated the interview tonight. Please to send your feedbacks to me personally about the interview, because as you know, I want to know when I'm through, if I did something wrong, that. I want to know. So let me know, what are your views on the interview? Just send me a message. Nobody call me. Send me a message and let me know. But it was a pleasure being here with you all, Jamaica. And thanks tonight. You see, when me see a situation, see when I mix up on them something there, the 8 and 9,000 people not there. But thanks to the loyal 6,000, 6,500, 7,000, 7,000 who make sure that this is their nightly program. I am Andre Stevens, and this was the Andre Stevens Show. Until 1 p.m. tomorrow. Keep blessed, keep positive, and remember, when they go low, we keep high. Good night, good night, good night, Jamaica.